your business will never outgrow your mindset. And it took me a long time to internalize this lesson, that no matter how much I focus on the numbers, no matter how much I focus on strategies, unless I fix my inner state, nothing is gonna work the way I want it to. And in this video, I wanna talk about that. If you're not currently attracting the right clients for you, if you're not attracting the right opportunities, if you feel like everything feels like so heavy, and it's like so, it's like a fight every single time you're trying to post content or sign a deal or whatever, it might not be a strategy, it might not be your funnel, it might not be your system, it might actually be your mindset. Again, in this video, I want to touch on that and hopefully give you my perspective and like some clarity in terms of like how you can fix that and how you can go about it. Because see, in business, there are a couple of different modes, let's call them, in which you can be in. The worst one that you can do business from and like create a business from is like the survival mode. I was there basically most of my life. One of my like biggest things was I had this like shiny object syndrome. In my life, I couldn't focus. I used to do music before, and then as soon as I stopped making music, I got into business fully, and in business I was like so chaotic and I could not focus. It took me like quite some time to realize why I was that chaotic, why I was chasing all of these different opportunities. And again, I love talking about like being transparent and being vulnerable with you guys, but I realized my head was just a mess. I was stuck in this survival mode essentially. I was stuck in this like, oh, I gotta make money, I gotta get clients, I gotta get opportunities, I gotta do all of this. I was so stuck in that I was essentially willing to do whatever it took just to like make some money. And that is super bad. And that is like where, unfortunately, most business owners operate from. They operate from that state of like, I'm in this survival mode, I gotta get money, I gotta like, so what ends up happening is you end up like working with the worst possible clients. You're not aligned with the clients that you work with. And if you're in that, I challenge you to think about this, like, are you operating from this survival mode right now? Because if you are, you have to really, really be careful with that. No business will ever outgrow who you are. So your inner state literally defines the business, the infrastructure, the systems, the content, how the content feels, the messaging, the type of clients that you have. So that's the first mode, the survival mode. The second one is basically that mode in which you're a bit more strategic, in which you systemize a lot more, you think slightly like longer term. You're not that like reactive and emotional and like in that survival mode. You're not panicking every single second. But still with this, the issue is you're still somehow kind of like attached to numbers, attached to like metrics that you have zero control over. I was in that mode for the beginning of this year, and I gotta be honest, like business went amazing. My personal brand literally changed my life, the coaching business, everything. But I started to get super delusionally obsessed with systems and with strategies and with not necessarily numbers, but like with strategies for like, what could I do about this infrastructure, that I kind of lost sight of the creative side of things. And that got me like so obsessed with that again, I was focused on the outside more than the inside. And then I went through like a burnout. I posted a video about it and that sucked essentially. So, but now we're back. But I learned from it. And what I learned is that if I'm just thinking about like system strategies, just that, and if I'm not taking a moment to breathe and check in with myself and how I am internally and really like operate from this relaxed place, inevitably everything is going to come crashing down. And it did. And it wasn't the first time. So throughout my businesses, what I realized, like because I did like a creative agency, I had 2 e-com stores, I had a SaaS business as well. I used to do music before. Like what I noticed throughout all of my life, even like freelancing, building brands, now especially with the personal brands, is I scaled literally from 0 to 200,000 followers in a couple of months. What I realized, like the common theme, is that it's so easy to get to that point where you might not be in survival mode necessarily, but you might be again too obsessed with like strategies and stuff, and you lose sight of the why, of the fun in it essentially, and then you just operate from this desperate place. You operate from this place of like, oh, I have to get numbers, I have to get, new clients in, I have to do this, so you operate from this like essentially ungrateful place, which you do not want to be in. So Jesus says in the Bible, you cannot, literally it says it like, you cannot be grateful and anxious at the same time. So whenever you're feeling anxious, whenever you're feeling like, oh my God, my business isn't working the way it's supposed to, my this, my that, whatever, be grateful. And so that leads me to the last mode, and the best mode to be in is like grateful, peaceful, creative, because that allows you to scale your business and create and come up with concepts that like you couldn't possibly think of when you're in that stressed survival mode, like, oh, I gotta get it. And I understand, like, sometimes life just sucks. Sometimes it's hard financially, right? But everything that is happening on the outside, for some reason, that's what I learned. And I swear to God, like, life taught me the hardest way. Everything that is going on the outside is somehow a telltale sign of like, hey dude, take a look inside. And because there's something going on there. There's something there that is not quite right, and you got to take a look at that. And funny enough, like every single time I stopped, I took a minute and I reflected, and I kind of, I took this moment to get back into that creative state, relaxed state, grateful state. What do you know? Like, better opportunities came around, like better clients, better the content that I started to make, and just better life in general. Like, I remember I had this super interesting. So I had this like moment last year. I was in the gym and I was doing deadlifts, right? So I'm doing deadlifts, I'm in the gym there, and like I don't know, for some reason things were good, right? With content and everything, and with the business, thank God. And I was so grateful. I don't know. I was like super grateful, right? I was like, yeah, this is an amazing day in the gym. So I'm doing deadlifts, right? And I go to check my phone, because I'm usually not on my phone in the gym, but I go to check my phone and I get this email, and I was basically invited to fly out to Dubai to this business event, which was amazing. And obviously I went there with my team. And we actually did a meetup for Unlock Creators, my inner circle there as well, which was awesome. So long story short, I realized that every single time in period that I was like grateful and operating from that calm, like super grateful place, things started to happen in like a weird way, right? So God has this mysterious way of working, right? And think about it like this: if you would have a kid, right? And I know I'm going off a tangent, but I'm gonna bring it back, hopefully. If you have like a kid and he or she tells you like, hey, give me this, give me that, whatever, like, and you give him or her, that toy or whatever, that present, that gift, and then they're super ungrateful and they're like, oh yeah, but I want another one, and I want it in this color, I want it in this color. Would you give it to them? Probably not, right? Because you're gonna be like, what are you doing, like little prick? Like you're not even like grateful for the things that you already have. So that, to bring it back, that is where most business owners, creators, coaches, agency owners, that is where most people are. They're so ungrateful. They're so stuck in that survival mode, so focused on the next thing, the next opportunity, that they're robbing themselves the gratitude of the present moment, and that in turn destroys the entire thing, right? And they just like spiral. And again, the only reason I'm making this video is because it happened to me. So I'm not just sitting here from like on a high horse just talking about it. It happened to me plenty of times, and recently. And again, what I realized is that no matter how much, and that's so interesting, no matter how much I would focus on my own business strategy, system, infrastructure, branding, whatever, no matter how many clients I sign, no matter like how many people like I work with, unless I improve my mindset, unless I operate from this grateful, peaceful state and place, my business will not outgrow that. My business will not outgrow my mindset. And so this is just a video for those of you who feel stuck in your business and you cannot really find the bottleneck, I promise you the bottleneck most of the time, because sometimes, we're talking about strategies and stuff, but like most of the time, you're the bottleneck. Most of the time, your mindset, your lack of gratitude is the bottleneck in and of itself. And until you will fix that, your business will stay the same, you will feel stuck, and everything will feel heavy. So today, I challenge you after this video, take a moment with yourself and try to look around you. I don't care like what niche you're in, what business you're in, and try to like take a moment to just be grateful for the things that you've already accomplished, for the abilities that God gave you, for the skills that you have. Most people, I bet, and I submit that to you, most people would give everything to be in your position right now. And that's what I realized myself. I tend to be so ungrateful and so blindsided by whatever challenge or bottleneck I might have that I lose sight of like literally the blessings, the countless blessings that I have. And that in turn is stopping my business and is hindering the progress of everything that I'm building. So most of the time, you don't have to buy another whatever course strategy. Most of the time, you don't have to, like tweak that funnel like for the 40th time. Most of the time, you have to take a step back and ask yourself, am I operating from a grateful, peaceful place, or from this really stressed out survival mode place? Because from that, I guarantee you're not gonna get the high caliber of clients that you want in your business. And again, everything will feel heavy. So I'm gonna end the video here. Hopefully it helped you. If you wanna work with me to scale your personal brands in a way that really resonates with who you are, and if you want to sign high-ticket clients and scale your education business, you can contact me down below, and I'll see you in the next one.